I noticed in particular you weren't a big fan of the Vin Diesel movie Fast Five.
My poor son, you know. Okay, I have a huge collection of videos and DVDs, many of which I got long before I had children. You know, I have That Darn Cat with Dean Jones.
Yeah.
You know, I have an excellent library. But part of the deal with this was when we did this chapter, Blockbuster was still in business, and so I had stupidly told them that we could go to Blockbuster and they could choose, you know, because they were convinced that I didn't have the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So that they could choose, and it just never occurred to me how badly they would choose. My son, I say in the book that he went directly to the unwatchable section of the store, and he came back with, I can't even remember the name of one of the movies anymore. It was just this horrible swords and shieldy, just awful, violent thing. And then this fast whatever. And so the first one, when it was his turn to choose, you know, I look at it and the box. My daughter insisted I did because she didn't want him to have anything. So I look at the box and it really did look just appalling. It was like some sort of Mickey Rourke vehicle. It just looked appalling. And so I vetoed that one entirely. I said, I just don't think so, honey. And we just watched Hugo, right? So I said, it doesn't really dovetail from Hugo, honey. So then he said, well, how about this one? And he kept, as I'm reading the box, he kept going, it's about car racing, Mom. It's about car racing, the Fast and Furious thing. So I felt bad for vetoing everything he wanted. So I say, okay, we put it on. We began watching this, just horrible. Just awful, just unbearable. And we lasted as long as we could until finally I just said, honey, we have to turn it off. It's just too much for me. And of course, he was very upset about it. And so I tried to explain what a good movie is. I said, hon, it's, you know, the characters remind us of ourselves sometimes in a good movie. So they go through an arc where maybe they learned something, and right, they go through a problem and they solve the problem, and they're sort of a better person on the other side. Or our hearts are uplifted with laughter, something. And he just looked like he just couldn't understand it all. And I finally said, okay, let me shorten it. A good movie, Vin Diesel's not in it. And I think that was
a bold stance.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of Vin Diesel supporters in here.
Yeah, that was.
You know, I swear I was talking to someone on NPR and I told them that, and they did the same thing. It was Lulu Novaris, you know, the lady from Weekend Edition.
Yeah.
And I said that to her. Oh, poor Vin Diesel. You know what? I'm not sure that he's awake nights worrying about my opinion. He's never stopped by the house and said, well, what do you think? And can you help me maybe round out my career a little bit? No, it was barely watchable.